2 full-time jobs, school, gym, plus God. Let me share with you how I actually manage to handle everything. Because the truth is, the real glow did not start when I got cute, but it started when I became soft yet disciplined. Now, before I give you the gems, I have to give you the truth. What is going on out there? I don't know. We're not even gonna discuss them dogs out there. They're not my dogs, just FYI. If I could describe myself in my 20s in 3 words, it would be reckless, impulsive, and reckless. I know I said reckless twice because that is definitely the truth. Now let me give you an example. I got my first car in my mid-20s and I bought it off of pure impulsiveness. Easily one of my biggest mistakes in life. But that's not even the point. I did what I wanted with that car. I parked where I wanted, I drove how I wanted, and I paid what I wanted. And what I wanted was apparently nothing. Oh my God, I'm so glad I can laugh about it now because this car really haunted me. This choice haunted me for years. Tickets, didn't pay. Registration, nope. Anything outside of the car note, apparently it was a no. It was a not. It was a definitely wasn't paid. To this day I look back like, Cecily, what was you even thinking? Seriously, what was I thinking? What did I even think was gonna happen? Because things don't just erase or disappear. I really cannot even tell you guys what I was thinking at that point in time in life. I guess I just didn't think about the consequences at all until one day I found out my license was suspended. And I needed to go to court to pay everything that I've been ignoring. Lesson learned the hard way. And honestly, my whole life at that time matched the chaos. I was out every weekend. The whole decade was sponsored by Fashion Nova and Outside. Friday through Sunday. It was a ritual. I was gone. No routine, no structure, no habits, no intentions. The worst part about it was like I was broke too. I was broke. No matter how I looked, and looks are deceiving. No matter how I looked, I was broke. And we all know Fashion Nova had a gang of sales, so I for sure was catching all the sales. Anywho, that's beside the point. I was broke. Because the little I had was on outside and streets, while I was actually ignoring what I really needed to be paying. The lifestyle looked fun, but left me very empty. Deep down, I was a lost soul. Crying alone, feeling directionless, feeling disappointed in myself. And that's when I realized the only way out was separation and discipline. I had to leave my old self, the old habits, the environments that kept me stuck. So habit number 1 that transformed my life, schedule. I schedule everything. Everything is on the calendar. Everything has its place and time, clearly. But one of my things that work best for me is I have a calendar for everything. For all areas of my life. I have a calendar for business, I have a calendar for content, I have a calendar for personal goals, I have a calendar for work. With 2 jobs and going to school and life, this just is the system that I found keeps me organized and grounded. And what I found is structure keeps my life organized and keeps me from falling back into the chaos. Habit number 2, I give myself grace. This is super important, especially for a person like me. As disciplined I am, I had to realize that detours do happen. Your body won't always feel energized. Plans change and life happens. Grace keeps me from crashing out. You guys, I learned in my 30s that I go too hard on myself. I give everybody else grace, everything grace, and then I forget to give grace to myself when I fall short. Especially in a season of I know I'm doing what I should do. Back then, I probably shouldn't be giving myself as much grace as I was giving myself. Then I start doing what I need to do and I'm not giving myself none. But anywho, I learned to give myself grace. It's part of my discipline and keeping me disciplined and soft. I give myself grace because I'm human. And as hard as this was for me, it changed everything. Habit number 3 is saying no. Not because I'm mean, but because my goals matter. I can't do everything for everybody all the time. I had to learn it the hard way. If they're my loved one, I so try to do everything for everybody, but it just left me very burnt out, overwhelmed, and just not in a good space. Found out when I do everything for everybody, It's at the cost of my own peace, my own progress, my own goals. Saying no is protecting your future, not rejecting your loved ones. And that was actually a hard pill for me to swallow. Number 4 habit is self-care. Self-care is discipline. But this took me the longest to understand. It's not just about pampering. It's honoring your emotional and mental needs. It's taking a slow morning where your spirit feels drained. It's scheduling mental health days without guilt. Matter of fact, let me give you a little quick story. I will never forget the day, literally this is not too long ago. I'll never forget the day that I logged in sick time at work from a mental health day. And I remember my boss contacted me like, hey, what's this sick time for? Because mind you, I scheduled it. I requested that time off. And I told her mental health day. You don't know, but I'm going through it. And if I didn't request it off, you would have scheduled me for work, if I'm not correct. So schedule your mental health days. When you feel it and you're feeling overwhelmed, and you're feeling too all over the place, anxiety is high and you're very chaotic and confused, and now you're moving without attention, or you're moving actually on, what's the word I'm looking for? Ooh, it's right there. Dang, I ain't about to hold you guys. But moving off of urgency and pressure, you need a break. I don't know about you guys, but I refuse to turn back to my dark days. I lived through them, I learned a lot through them, but I refuse to turn back to them. So schedule your mental health days. Self-care is learning when to recognize that you need time out. You need to pour into your cup. You need to take a day off. You need to say no. Yes, all this is nice, but the real self-care is emotional and mental, and not always pampering. And having awareness of that is definitely a form of discipline. Number 5 habit is learn yourself. I don't know why it took me to my 30s to actually learn myself, but it did. But it's so much power in knowing who you truly are. And I feel like the only way to actually do this and learn and know who you truly are is spending more time with yourself by yourself. And how you could do this, just in case any of you guys are questioning how, is solo dates. And number one way, if you don't feel like you could take yourself out, you could go somewhere by yourself, that is a number one flag of why you need to spend some time with yourself. Because you can't even sit with yourself nowhere. You feel weird, you're feeling judged, you're feeling looked at. You should be able to sit with yourself before you can sit with anybody else. But solo dates, journaling. You guys, I buy too much journals. I'm gonna be honest with you. I go to Burlington. I actually have digital journals off of Etsy. I actually get journals off of Notion app. If you guys don't know what that is, check them out. They're very aesthetic. You can change colors. I love stickers. I love color pens. I finally, in my 30s, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, learned the power of journaling. And don't journal with prompt. I don't feel the need to journal with prompt. I literally journal what's on my mind at the time, and I just literally write what's on my mind. I literally write the questions. It's not about finding the answer, it's just letting it flow, and then you do gain clarity. You'll see once you start doing it as you flow in your writing. But journaling, which gives more reflection and more accountability, conversation with yourself. Why did I act like that? Why did that trigger me? Why don't I like this? Why do I like this? Why does this bring me comfort? Why does this bring discomfort? Those are questions you really do need to ask yourself to get to know yourself. And they are highly important. And why is getting to know yourself is important with discipline? I'm going to tell you right now. Because you cannot understand discipline if you don't recognize your triggers. And I'm going to give you a little example for me. I know I can't hang around certain people no more or be in certain places. Because even though I've grown, I don't trust myself around old temptations just yet. And I honor that boundary, knowing that about myself. I honor that. This makes discipline way easier for me because I don't put myself in certain situations that require struggle, that require me to have to make certain decisions, or that will be hard for me, that will put pressure on me. I don't put myself in those positions because I know myself. I don't even want to test it. Like I said, I worked on myself a lot and I feel very grown and I feel like I've got to a certain level in life, but it's like, I don't even want to go test the water. I just don't even do it. I stay away because I know myself. I think this is the best option for me. And self-knowledge is maturity. And that's why it's important to really know yourself. Habit number 6, God first. I did not always put him first. It took me 30 years, 3 ectopic pregnancies, emotional healing to understand how patient and loving God truly is, and was definitely with me. I blamed him, I ignored him, but he never left me. Now my habits reflect my faith. Weekly Bible study, Sunday service, prayer, personal time with him. Life hits different, truly hits different when you allow God in your life. And then faith makes discipline easier because you have purpose behind your actions. If that makes sense. Faith makes discipline easier because you have purpose behind your actions. Now your choices are aligning with how God would move, how God wants you to move, your purpose in life. And if that is not your purpose in life, that is not where God's leading you, if that's not God's thing to do, you answer very quick. You do not have to be confused about it. It's most likely a no. I did not even actually write this in my thing, but I was already debating on it of what I want to tell you guys. It was my phone. It's my thing about that. Let me hurry up. Feelings. Get rid of feelings. Don't move off of feelings. Feelings are a lie. Yes, we have good feelings and they feel good, and then we have very low feelings, and our body is scientifically, what's the word I'm looking for, attached to negative feelings. Don't listen to them. Don't move off of them. Don't answer off of them. Don't make choices off of them. Don't talk in those moments of high ones. I think that is very important habit of self-discipline, because if not, we're moving off of how we feel, and how we feel fluctuates. So I move this way because of how I feel. I move this way because of how I feel. Also, motivation is a feeling. And if you're moving off of always being motivated, then that means you're not really going to do much. Because honestly, it's not about being motivated, it's about being disciplined.